Here's what was going through my mind once I got 1 minute into this episode.
Pain.
God, this episode was bad. Like, I had problems with the last one, but at least Alia stuck around to be the best character. Also, this review will be edited quite differently from last one because, evidently, fair use doesn't mean what I think it does. Speaking of the last episode, turns out it's set after this episode because the woman who gets akumatized here is interviewed about it there, so... why is the show like this? Oh, wait, Astro answered. Because the production order is not the watch order. Okay, here's an idea. How about you release this show in order, huh? I'm starting to see why so many fans don't like this man. And he still has me blocked because of that one time I said I liked one of his jokes. Marinette's never gonna change. Even when she's dating Adrien, she's gonna find ways to continue to lose her mind about it. I will admit, it was kind of amusing seeing how cartoony this episode gets with her doing her antics, but as funny as she is, I can't exactly ignore the character-based aspects of this. Adrien has the audacity to exist in close proximity to a girl and it becomes her biggest problem. The most amusing part of this episode was going on Twitter afterwards and seeing the stans cope so hard about her behavior as anything other than her being a jealous stalker. I even saw people who seemed to be under the impression that there was any romantic attraction between these two girls, and let's be real, they all know that's not true. The episode tries to cover for Marinette by saying she's just nervous because she doesn't think she's good enough to be friends with Sublime. And so many people latched onto the idea that this episode is just about Mari trying to make a new friend without acknowledging why. Even though we all watched the episode and saw her say shit like this.
But it's impossible to be silent next to someone for that long. They must be hiding something. It just makes sense. The friends of my boyfriend who aren't yet my friends are my future friends. Running every day, every morning with Adrien, supposedly without speaking. He's talking to her, she's talking to him, which means they're talking. Could Adrien have lied to me? Ancient Greek class. Oh no, they're gonna speak in code so that no one can understand them. Oh, she's in love with Adrien.
This episode starts out with her spying on Sublime and Adrien because she thought he was lying when he said they don't talk while jogging. She's practically trying out for an athletic championship herself with how quick she is to jump to assumptions of romantic interest between the two. Anyone who tells you this isn't about Adrien is deluding themselves. The only reason she's talking to this girl is because she jogs next to Adrien. Fortunately, she's changed from hating girls who are near Adrien to stalking them, which in her case is a big improvement. She follows Sublime around while the girl is Disney princessing all over the school, absolutely loses her goddamn mind at every opportunity the story presents for her to do so, and abuses her powers to inadvertently break the girl's admittedly flimsy prosthetic legs while she's trying to run for a trial for a sponsor. It's appalling, and I genuinely don't think she's ever done anything this crazy with such severe consequences the entire show. Even her fans were like, this is gonna give the haters so much ammunition. And even though she apologized, I can't help but wonder if the writers would just have her do something like this again when it's convenient. I've been seeing Thomas Astruc's tweets where he tries to explain what's happening in the show, and I've gotta be honest, they fill me with zero confidence. Is this what the rest of the season's gonna be? Marinette doing her absolute best to convince me she's not mature enough to be in a romantic relationship while the entire fandom holds their breaths and prays she's just acting like this because of the stress of keeping Gabriel's secret, even though the show has done nothing to indicate that? It's kind of insane. Gabriel died. Marinette is the one we see be the most affected. Adrien makes a friend that isn't part of the cult of Ladybug. Marinette is immediately the focus as we see her try to befriend the same girl. According to the promo for Were Papas, it's apparently gonna be more Adrien family drama. And Marinette is apparently gonna gatecrash it and is also the only main character we see in all the promotional images that have been released as I'm writing this. You will have to forgive me for expecting it to be about her once again. The bar is so low that Adrien being the focus of an episode about his family would be a wonderful surprise. And you know, I could focus on this negatively affecting Adrien's story, but I also can't help but think about how it negatively affects Marinette as a character and a person. Adrien needs to man up and get hit by the car that is his atrocious family life instead of letting his girlfriend do it for him. God, I'm so deep into the script and I haven't even begun talking about the episode properly. I mean, I guess I've gone over some of the major beats. Adrien jogs with a girl, Marinette loses her mind over it and immediately compiles a dossier of everything about her and immediately feels completely inadequate. Which is kind of weird because I think Sublime's resume is only slightly more impressive than Adrien and Felix's. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever had a stronger inclination to call a character a Mary Sue than Sublime. Yes, I know, it's a buzzword that means too many different things to too many different people to be useful, but still, I wasn't joking about the whole Disney princess thing. Why are there farm animals in the school? Where's Sublime sitting that she found a giant harp to play music for them exactly? But I want to go into an actual analysis of her character. And the fact that she isn't one... Okay, she is for like half a minute, but even that has a caveat. Sublime falls into the same problem Adrien has had lately, in that they kind of just exist to enable Marinette's behavior. Hey, this girl I don't know is following me around. Oh, that's just Marinette. She does that sometimes, it's fine. And the most egregious example is how, after a combination of Marinette's soap idiocy and Ladybug's horrible timing breaks the prosthetics and sends her face first into the ground, she looks up and just calmly explains Marinette. Like, no anger, no frustration, nothing. Just, a friend of mine's girlfriend is weird, don't worry about it. These are not human reactions. Is there anything Marinette could do to make these people angry with her? Even the one character who starts calling her out on what she did only does it as a mentally manipulated supervillain. Guys, it's okay to tell this girl no. Remember Kagami, aka the best character, and how it took a whole season for her to become friends with Marinette, and we actually got to see her have a dynamic with Adrien? Even Sublime being perfect directly serves Marinette's character as something for her to be nervous about. If she's a Disney princess, she's Asha. But I did say she was a character for 30 seconds, and that's when she's rejecting her fears and nervousness before the trial. It's the best piece of writing in the entire episode. On one hand, it does the job of serving Marinette's character, even if it's to get her to do the stupid pretending to be a supervillain plan. On the other, it's an emotional reaction that makes sense considering the two vastly different ways her parents try to support her athletic aspirations, particularly in the well-meaning but forceful way Caroline tells her to reject fear. You see, Sublime does get to be a character, but only because her family's dynamic is great, contrasting an attentive father who doesn't want to push her too far and a strong-willed mother who is confident she has what it takes to go the distance. And because neither of them are Marinette, we get to see the whole thing have an effect on her, even as the whole family comes together to support her aspirations despite her parents being divorced. I desperately hope this isn't just another Zoe, but all she really needs to do to be better than that is to come back as an actual character at any point in the rest of the season. Maybe even talk with Adrien about something other than Marinette, since apparently they're friends. Okay, let's move on. This scene of Marinette calling Chat Noir had fans arguing over whether or not he needs her permission to fight a villain. Believe it or not, I still have faith in the show to not do that and think she was just calling his attention to the fact there was trouble. I really hope he has a way to do the same, but I'm not holding my breath. Is this scene where Marinette talks about how lucky it would be for something to happen and then it happens just the writers failing to engage in show don't tell? Or is it foreshadowing about her powers? Okay, I was wrong. The funniest thing about this episode was how much it makes Miss Bustier's speech at the end of season 5 just utter bullshit.
We've reorganized everything to remove the need for cars, wrappers, and it's been working great. In this new school, there will be no classes or struggling to get good grades.
Maybe it's because they're in the same class. Ancient Greek class! Oh no!
She's become a true politician, claiming she's done things that haven't happened yet. Between this and Marinette acting normal around Adrien, I think this scene has just been retconned out of existence. At this point, the only way to salvage it would be to reveal it actually happens late into season 6, which would be its own flavor of ridiculous, but honestly be better than where it stands right now. I am being very mean to this episode. Let's talk about Lila, she's usually great. So, Sublimation. I like this villain a lot. Her entire motivation is to make people better, and it's notable that she doesn't do any damage to really drive home how wrong Ladybug was for what she did to her daughter. Honestly, I think the idea of a supervillain who makes people better is wasted on this episode. Okay, wait, no, she does do damage to this car. And then there's the trap set inside the Akuma, I'm not calling them Ultra Kumas, that fires out little anti-Kumas that deactivate powers. Who is telling Ladybug these names? Did the writers realize that giving the heroes unlimited use of their powers made them unbeatable, and so they came up with a way for the villains to just turn them off? I thought the way they got around Sublimation's powers by apparently just already being the best they could be was the worst written part of the episode. Really? This is as good as these two get? You understand that this episode is about Marinette making so many mistakes that she broke a paraplegic girl's prosthetic legs, right? Her own lucky charm is literally the power of creation throughout the universe and the cosmos going, you are the problem. Can you take a break from the hero worship for just 1 second? You know, there are real people who exist in this world who will tell you that there is nothing wrong with how Marinette is written, and they are all so funny. And once again, we see Lila spying on That's Not Lila. The plot thickens. Look, someone's probably gonna call me a misogynist for how much I criticize Mari, but like, the female characters I do like are easily the best parts of this show. Lila's even gone from poison to intriguing, though we'll have to see how that pays off. The reason I haven't been discussing Adrien that much is because he hasn't actually gotten to do anything. Bob Roth is a terrible character. His dialogue makes no sense. After his many encounters with the heroes, why is he under the delusion that their job is to protect wealthy people? Is that just clumsy social commentary? He's only here to be the generic bad rich person, even though nothing about the whole getting him to sponsor Sublime situation makes any sense. Does he plan to sell a gold medal for money? Kagami's mom is also in the episode. You know, she's fully aware her daughter is Ryuko, and Ladybug is fully aware that she's fully aware her daughter is Ryuko. Wonder how that's gonna turn out. Is that everything? Marinette and Sublime become friends? I feel the urge to go back to writing my Kagami and Luca video. You comment your thoughts below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more content. What am I missing? Oh right, shout out to my patrons, A, Skyman, and Theo Giles. Thank you, and good day.